welcome to Audio Adventures. This is a D&D 5th edition podcast that is made by friends, with friends, and for friends. And if you clicked on us, buckle up. It's going to be a crazy magic carpet ride for you and me. This podcast is used by my nerdy friends and I to escape our lives for a time and act out some pretty ridiculous scenarios. And we are so glad to have you here. A couple things before we start. Our group loves the rule of cool, so I'm sure we will get rules wrong. So if we do, please feel free to tell us in a kind fashion down in the comments. Also, if you want to contribute to the fantastical world of Seblos where this campaign takes place, please make a comment and you may be seeing that kobold cleric in the very near future, along with your name in the show as well. Now, please grab a seat and some popcorn, and let's meet our Wandering Vanguard.
Hello there, I'm Perthy. This is Perthy's pre-game, post-game show. Let's open the doors for a guest and break on through the other side of last week's events. This episode of Perthy's pre-game, post-game show was brought to you by the Order of the Ghost Slayers. Have you ever thought about being a blood hunter? Or perhaps you have a child you would like to see someone else raise and take care of to provide you with security? The Order of the Ghost Slayers is looking for you. Hello there, I am Perthy, flower friend Valukiago, and I'm here with Valentine Dyer.
Hello! It is very nice to see you, Perthy, although I'm a bit confused at where I am.
You are in a safe place. How about that?
Alright, we'll go with that.
You don't have to worry. Do you need anything to drink, anything to eat?
I think that I am good right now. I'm a bit preoccupied and trying to get my husband back. Can you bring him here?
I can try. Hey, Samria?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Perthy, what's up?
Can you bring Valentine Dyer's husband here?
Let me check. Something tells me that plot armor might not allow me, but I'll check. Yeah. Sorry, I don't think that he is, I don't think he'd survive the trip.
That's understandable. Thank you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Valentine. It is, nice to meet you too, Samaria. What did you say about... Bye, Perthy.
She's great, isn't she?
She seems to be a very nice assistant, partner, but what does she say about my husband?
I call her the one in charge.
Oh, she's your boss.
She's been at this longer than I have.
Well,
not the hosting, also. Anyway, Miss Dyer, we've got some questions to ask you about the previous session.
alright. I guess go for it. I guess I'm not going anywhere until you say I'm going anywhere.
What do you think of these people you've just met, the Wandering Vanguard?
It would seem to me that all of them are a bit peculiar. Especially that Warforged friend of yours. I believe his name was Tomb.
Yep.
But I've been adventuring for quite a while myself with my husband, but so I have met quite a bit of curious folk. So on the adventuring side of how do I feel about them, they seem to be like a pretty standard adventuring party. Some cuckoos in the normal world, but on the road, that's exactly what you seem to need to survive.
That's some very good insight. Thank you. Next question. When did you decide to become a bard?
I really just had a knack for it ever since I was a child. I grew up in a sort of town that really just championed the way adventurers brought honor and saved towns, and we would really just tell their stories, and I thought that was great. And I just really left town on to sort of spread the tales of valor and adventure and hope to those that really need it. And I met my friends along the way. I actually had my own adventuring party for a while before we disbanded. And through that, I actually met my husband, Chorus.
Speaking of your husband, were you glad to see he was relatively safe?
Glad to see that he was not beyond the veil. But you can bet from me that he is going to hear an earful from me for not being careful enough as he's hunting.
Speaking of dangers while you're hunting, have you run into Goliaths before?
Not necessarily in this sense. On our ventures, there would be Goliaths, but they didn't seem to be of a similar... They seemed to be cut from a different cloth, if you get what I mean. I had several Goliath friends on the road, and I've had some Goliaths save my life. But right now, I haven't seen these type of Goliaths, to be quite honest.
Oh, well, I want to thank you for your time today.
The problem, it is very nice meeting you, Perthy. I don't know how I knew your name when I came in here, but all the same, I hope you are well, and your boss friend over there, Sembria, I hope all of you... Make sure that you stay safe. This seems to be a pretty dangerous sort of area.
Don't worry. We will. Well, just again, I would like to thank Valentine Dyer for coming. I'd like to thank Samaria and the Order of the Ghost Slayers for providing us a sponsor. If you need blood work done, come to them.
Alright, well, I guess I'll see you next time, Perthy.
Does she live? Samaria? Never. Goodbye. This was Perthy's pre-game, post-game show. Thanks for joining us, and let's return to the world of Seblos.
Last time with the Wandering Vanguard. All of you are on a magical carpet ride after you met a bard named Valentine Dyer, figured out she was a prego lady, and that her husband was kidnapped by Goliaths. All of you decided to heroically go and find this man named Chorus Dyer, that seemingly was dragged off by two very large Goliaths. How do you know they were two very large Goliaths? Because when you got on the magic carpet, and you were going for a supposed week span, when we got through everyone's intentions of the week span, when we got to our very dear Warforged friend, Tomb, he decided to jump off said carpet several feet up in the air, casting Featherfall, going down into the forest, down into where the tar pits are, the swampy tar pits, and found said Goliaths with two large Wolverines and a very large fight ensued. The fight was something else to behold, and I would apologize to you guys because it seemed that I was salty last time. I was not salty. I just got very tired near the very end of that, so not angry. I just got tired. And I will also be keeping the rules for battle up next to me just to refer back to you to make sure that my calls are a little bit better with that, because we hadn't battled for a bit. With that, you guys killed one of the Goliaths, and the other Goliath, realizing, oh hey, I gotta go, or I'm gonna die, because these guys ain't playing, jumped on his Wolverine, and rode off into the swamp. After our local soul knife blink maged and transported onto the Wolverine, and then was knocked off after I ruled the blink mage reaction was a bit too OP. You're correct, and Phil was there too. He is making off. We start our session off with this Goliath making off with Valentine, Koros, a smaller humanoid form, and our artificer's mechanical construct named Phil. Yes, your mechanical construct fox named Phil. I believe all of you are yeeting over to the carpet.
I'm casting fly on myself.
Alright, you are casting fly. I believe we said that that they were about 80 feet away to start off with. So,
would it be better if I didn't get on the magic carpet so it can go faster?
Emma, you're getting on the magic carpet.
Okay.
This is Mom Tivril talking. You're getting on the carpet too.
Ekman's just sitting on the carpet fuming still after his lame battle show out.
I put my hand on his shoulder.
I'm running. Trying to book it as fast as I can back to them.
Ekman nods over at you, Redguest.
What was the run speed of the Wolverines?
50.
50? Okay.
Oh.
I would like to take off flying toward as fast as I can, which is 60 feet per round.
Alright. Before you do that, we're going to roll initiative because this is going to be a skill challenge.
Okay.
No, you can't just catch up.
What if? Okay. What if I'm just
Peter,
sitting on the
also.
carpet?
You're just gonna stay on the carpet? Okay.
Yeah.
What is... I forget this Goliath's name. Well... Okay. Oh, that's his name. Cool.
Is the name Kevin?
No.
Oh, I wanted it to be Kevin.
That'd be so generic.
He rolled... Kevin! Alright, first up in this initiative order, Raul. You. So, everyone, right now, I think the only people on the carpet are you and Ekman. And everyone is going to get over to the carpet initially. But you are just sitting on the carpet right now, next to Ekman.
So I couldn't do like a strength saving or strength check to try and help them on.
I mean, if you wanted to yeet people onto the carpet with your strength, like use your movement and get people closer, sure.
Just yeet two.
Can I try that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Just the strength check.
Yeah, because it's just your skill check, and you're just telling me how you're going to use that skill to help the group succeed.
18.
Nice. All right, you. So you're sitting on the carpet and you realize, after kind of moping there a little bit after these Goliaths, you realize, oh, Valentine's not here. Oh, she's on the Wolverine. And you get up and, I think the closest people to you, were actually Nyx. Actually,
no,
it was.
I was not.
Well, the closest, comparably, was actually Tavis and then Nyx, because Peter was the furthest. Oh no,
Yeah,
it
boy.
was actually Tavis and Tube.
I think I can lift this combined weight.
So
How
I'll
strong
say
is this cat?
He's a strong cat.
you see Redguest jump up with a sense of urgency and come forward and wrap his arm around Tavis and then run back and drag Tube onto the carpet. So, one success because you have reduced time.
Not the failure.
All right. Not a failure. Yes. Next up is actually Zach.
Yay.
You've just been yeeted onto the carpet.
I don't know what check this would be. Would I be able to speedily fly the carpet to other people so that Redguest could be on the carpet and just pull people up?
I'd say that it would be, what kind of check are you thinking for this? I would say dexterity.
Yeah, that's really all I can really think of doing.
Okay. So roll your sleight of hand,
All right.
and that would be your skill that you roll.
Haha. 21.
Very nice. Another success. Reducing the time further for all of you to get on the carpet and go. You see that after Tavis is yeeted onto the carpet by this ferocious cat and Tomb is dragged on, the carpet immediately lifts off and then heads right towards, first you head towards Bright, but you see him start to mutter a magical incantation, so you instead head over for the only person that's still not on the carpet, which is Tibberl. And I would say that he is able to jump on, so that is another success.
Wait,
Very nice.
how did Tube get on?
He was yeeted on by Redguest.
I thought Tavis was yeeted on.
He
Or
got
both.
both.
Oh,
I was.
oh, good. Cool.
He picked up Tavis and then dragged Tomb.
Good. Can we do a cool little while Tibber just starts running in the direction that they were going and then jumps on the way while they're going through.
Yeah, you see it
Yay.
coming and you start running and then you just effortlessly leap onto the carpet.
Dope.
Not another success, but it looks really cool.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted to look cool.
And next after that is Trevor.
I would like to start flying towards them.
All right,
Not towards the carpet, towards the dude on the wall. On the Wolverine? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a Wolverine. It's a really large, white, sort of wolf-looking guy.
All right, that's what I want to do. Can I try to see if I can focus more magic into going faster?
So what sort of skill? I would
Arcana.
say I would almost argue intelligence, but you can choose either.
I would. I'll do. I'll do intelligence. Yeah. In 18.
18? Alright.
Yes.
You see the carpet start to head for you. You must start muttering your incantations. You see the carpet veer, and Tibril hop on, and you feel like the magic lift you off the ground, and you can see the backside of a very large, now growing smaller Wolverine in the distance, sort of like a little white blip as you start to go off. And with your intelligence check of 18, you feel yourself go a little faster, but within the spell's limitations, of course. But you do feel like you might have a little less friction, like you're able to hold yourself in just the right way to reduce your friction against the air. So your maneuverability. I forget that legitimate word for that.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that you're hot on their trail. And we are moving on to Emma. The magic carpet is going along right above the canopy now, or are you above the canopy, not Travis? Tavis.
Yes.
Are you trying to go above the canopy or go through the forest?
I'm gonna go through the forest.
All right. You start. So you, Emma, or Tomb, you see the carpet start to go through the forest and just dip and dive around all of these trees, hearing the several tiny little laughs off in the distance and growls and everything. But you do see the faint blip of white as this Wolverine has made it quite a bit away from you guys, as you guys have got it onto the carpet and going. And you see the shadow above you as Nyx just zooms past as well. What is your skill that you want to attempt to do?
I'd like to send Talon up to like get and see if he can get close enough to the Wolverine to just track it in case something happens to us. But since that's, would that be just performance?
Performance would be more or less trying to get their attention or something of that nature. If you want to keep track, I would say either investigation or survival.
Can I do investigation?
Yeah, you can do investigation. You're just trying to keep your owl hot on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
And remember to roll with your owl stats.
Oh. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yep.
Okay. If he doesn't have a stat for investigation...
I believe investigation's a wisdom stat.
So just... I think it's
It is
intelligence.
Investigation is intelligence.
Yeah, it's
Intelligence.
So I just use his intelligence stat?
Yep, so just add the intelligence modifier to whatever you roll.
It's a -4.
Oh my god!
So,
oh no!
8.
Alright.
Oof.
Yeah, he's good in perception and good in stealth, but...
Investigate. Owls don't really investigate. They hunt. That's kind of investigation, but it's more of a primal nature. You kind of... They... they only kill. Yes, you're correct,
It was worth
Ro.
a shot.
And you kind of like, you see Tomb's eyes kind of like do the pulsing sort of illumination from his pale blue eyes. And then you see a split second later, Talon just shoot out, and he shoots out a little too fast. And he hits a branch. And he doesn't like, I won't make you roll any damage for it, but he hits a branch just enough and glances off, and then you see him start to go in the opposite direction.
Oh.
Instead in the opposite direction you guys are going, back to in the direction that you left Lord Duvice. So that is one failure.
That is not right. I think that's the wrong way.
Whoops. Sorry about
So
that.
he's just gonna go. All of the owl things. And it is the Goliath's turn. He's just gonna continue. I don't know why I really rolled initiative, but he's gonna do something. 1 second. Alright. You see a faint sort of... You see the little white blip kind of zigzag up ahead. You're not quite sure what's happening. It looks like you might be trying to do a zigzag formation, like you should do running away from a gun.
Oh no.
Like not realizing it's not shaking you.
Oh good. Is that a fail for him?
He fails.
Yay!
Trying to shake you off. Next is Tibril.
Woo! I love going last because everybody took what I was gonna do.
Well, Ekman's right after you, but...
Oh good. Well, I'm gonna try to do at least something similar to what Tomb did and try to get like a lock onto him.
Okay.
And since I would know Phil is attached to it,
Mhm.
I'm going to try to use my Arcana to kind of like feel out where he is, type of thing, and how like fastest route to him, type of thing.
All right, go ahead.
So 26.
All right.
Does that work?
You kind of like close your eyes, and you, again, your entire group is just filled with magic items. It's almost too hard to get past the magic that they're emanating from right now. But once you do, you see several blips in the forest ahead of you, but a very familiar blip out way in front. So I would say that you have a general sort of compass of where they are going.
Cool.
So that'd be a success.
Yay!
Very nice skill challenge so far, guys. Next is Ekman. He is going to do nothing. He's going to look around, just kind of nod, and say, "Looks like you all kind of have it handled. I don't know what I can do." And then do nothing. Raoul! It is your turn.
Okay. Can I do a perception check to keep track as best I can? I mean, I know they're in front of us, but keep look out for. Are we flying above the trees?
No, you guys are zip-zagging around the trees.
Can I keep? Can I do a perception to try and help guide Tavis as he?
Yeah.
Goes through.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, that is 23.
Oh my Atlanta, you guys are just rolling so good today. Alright. I'll tell you the DC I set for this later and you'll understand. But you... No, not that number, Tipperl.
-4.
But Red Guest, you move safely up to the front, next to Tavis, who's driving, and he almost runs into a tree, and you kind of like pull his shoulders to the left and help guide him, safely reducing now your maneuverability, or increasing your maneuverability around the forest. So I would say that you see that white dot is now becoming a larger dot in the distance as you were catching up, as far as you know. So that is another success.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys.
All of the numbers. Zach, it is your turn. Red Guest is helping you maneuver. What would you like to attempt to do? So you guys, kind of like getting up into flying off. This magic carpet has like about 30 foot per round. So you guys have been constant, but he kind of gained some ground before you guys started moving. So you initially, when he started to fly off, he was about 80 feet away, but he got to about 100 and something feet away. But as you guys have been gaining, I would say that you guys are now within 80 feet of him.
Okay. Trying to think of a way I can either increase my speed or fly through the trees easier. Would that be a nature check if I were to fly through the trees easier and faster-ish?
Through the trees?
Or like kind of... I don't know where... Okay, not through the trees, but like kind of zigzag past it, like around them faster.
It's... You already really have Red Guest kind of...
Okay.
helping out with that, and if you wanted to do another dexterity check, it would be a higher DC, because you did that before.
Yeah, okay, hear me out. Let me find the spell. I'm going to try and... I am going to... Let me check the... Okay. Check the distance. We're 80 feet away from him, right?
Yeah, you are just getting
Okay.
in within 80 feet of him.
Okay. Then I'm going to do an intimidation check by casting Wall of Fire 20 feet in front of him to block his way. Or would that be an Arcana check?
No, that'd be intimidation if you're trying to intimidate him to stop.
I'm going to try to intimidate him to stop.
All right.
Okay. 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 17.
All right. Okay. So with Red Guest's help, you are maneuvering around the trees, but you realize at this speed, the magic carpet will not catch up before he reaches wherever he's trying to reach. So you reach out with your hand, and just you all on the carpet, and bright as you're nearing closer to this Wolverine carrying your beloved subjects, as you lovingly refer to them. Would you explain to me just how wide, how tall this wall of fire is again?
20 feet diameter. 20 feet high and 1 foot thick. So
Alright.
I reach out my hand and 20 feet in front of the Goliath, fire roars up from the ground, 20 feet high, towering over him, and 20 feet long. And yeah.
Okay. And you see that, 1 second. Alright, you notice that, this large wall of fire erupts in front of this Wolverine, and you hear a distant yelp as this Goliath says something in Giant that none of you understand. And cannot stop, for he is going too fast. So he just runs right through the wall of fire. And him, Valentine, Koros, and the other humanoid are all going to take. Or I'm gonna make a dex. Actually, that's just gonna be a failed. So they're gonna take 5d8 fire damage.
Oh no. No.
Alright. So with that, I check my notes from before. Oh yeah. Right, okay. How many hit points does Phil have?
60.
Okay, nice. So you see as they pass through this wall of fire, and you just see this Wolverine and this Goliath erupt in flames in the distance. And then you see the Wolverine continue for a couple feet. Actually, Bright would see this, more or less. But the rest of you kind of see this vaguely. Actually, 80 feet's not too far. Too far away not to see this. But you see this large sort of like fire erupt, and then actually near the wall of fire. I'm sorry, things are getting muddled. Bright, you would see this. After the wall of fire, the Wolverine and the Goliath erupts, along with Valentine and Koros and the other humanoid and all of the other meat that is on the back of this Wolverine. And smoke is just drifting up as this Wolverine falls over, and you hear a cry come off. And both of them stop moving, but you see all three. You see the small humanoid just lay there, still on fire. You see Koros and Valentine fly off near a tar pit, and Koros doesn't move, but Valentine gets up and starts to pat everyone out. Pat her and her husband out, I should say. And Phil looks a little bit singed. And then from the magic carpet, you guys... No, I'm not doing that, Raoul. But you see from the magic carpet, this wall of fire seems to have hit tar pits, as you see another large fire just sort of like start to smoke and erupt from this tar. I would say that technically you have succeeded on your skill check with that.
Frick.
I did not mean for any of that to happen.
I would like to continue to fly over to them.
All right.
how far away? Or let me know when we're 30 feet away, because Timber's gonna try to blink over, and try to heal them up and patch them up.
All right, so it would probably take you 2.5 rounds to get there, but it would take Bright about 1 round to get there. So the first one to get there is Bright, and you see this whole commotion as you fly around this wall of fire and all of the tar pits, and it's starting to catch in the trees and kind of start to spread as you now see a forest fire attempting to take off.
I would like to cast Ray of Frost on the forest fire.
All right, go ahead.
Can I like skid to the ground and cast Ray of Frost? Shoot, what do I guess for that? Sorry.
Can I do that with him as well, since I have that?
What is the range on yours?
60 feet.
All right, so actually you do come within range right as he starts to do that. So I would say that you guys would both be able to do that from both angles. Also, Tavis, before you do that, can you roll your wild magic?
Yes. Do I have to roll it twice for both spells?
This first one first.
15.
All right, go ahead and roll your wild magic again.
77.
All right, wild magic chart.
Wild magic, wild magic.
Wild magic.
What if it's the one that casts a null magic?
Oh, that's
That'd be funny.
I did read up on it. All my soul knife stuff, that is considered magic, so I would be useless.
all of my companion, all of my infused thing, that's all considered magic.
The only person who I think would not get hurt by it is Red Guest.
One second.
Don't worry, guys.
1 second.
There's the possibility that all my fingers could turn to hot dogs.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, Tavis?
Oh, no.
Hot dog right.
Oh, God.
Save.
Don't save.
You said
I'm on
wisdom,
his-
right?
I'm on
Okay.
Nix's side, though.
15. 15.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just say it, Sam.
Does he
Okay.
turn into a potted plant? What's he do?
One
Sheep?
second.
Travis?
Red guest, you got it. It's a sheep. You see, as this carpet is flying full speed ahead, being
Oh no.
guided by Tavis and Red Guest. Red Guest, you just have your hand on his shoulder, and everyone looks as who's looking at the fire doesn't notice this, but Red Guest, you feel your hands start to lower, and then it suddenly is on something that feels like wool. And you look down,
Oh my
and you
God.
see a sheep with black, sort of like, with the same sort of hair coloration as Tavis, like the black at the roots and the silver
Don't
at the
forget
tips.
the metal arm.
Sam?
And
yeah.
a metal stub.
Okay. Can he
That-
be wearing all of his robes and like just smaller versions of all of his clothes and everything?
No, not smaller versions. They're just draped around you.
Okay.
And the carpet
How long does this last?
carpet comes to a stop.
I yell, ah! And I slap him.
How long does this last?
Okay, 1 second.
Out of
let me-
curiosity.
if you fail the saving throw, you turn into a sheep for the spell's duration. And the spell's duration, up to an hour.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
boy,
no.
looks like I'm fighting this forest fire by myself.
And no one knows how to fly a magic carpet, and all of you have just gotten up to 60 feet within this spreading forest fire.
Oh no.
And your driver turns into a sheep, and you are just levitating.
So the carpet doesn't fall.
No, it's that he hasn't told it to.
Okay.
Can we
Go
attempt
down.
to fly it?
Oh, Sean. Sorry.
Oh wait, you guys are in the forest, so you guys theoretically are not too far above the ground.
Cool.
I would say, because I keep thinking in relative terms of you're above the canopy, and I forgot that he kept going through the forest. So the trees are pretty tall, so I'd say you guys are about 40 feet above the ground.
Okay.
But you are not like hundreds of feet above the ground. If you want to try driving the carpet, you can give me a Arcana check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage? Oh no. I'll try it.
With
What could go wrong?
disadvantage.
What could go wrong?
Sam, while that's happening, I rolled 24 to hit on my Raven.
Okay, so
18.
with disadvantage?
I have a +9 to Arcana.
Oh, you're a scrub.
Whoa.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a d8 of cold damage. For Trevor, not for you, Peter.
Okay,
I
cool.
rolled an
Thank
8.
you.
For an 8. So thinking in relative terms, we'll get to the magic carpet thing in a second. So thinking in relative terms of gasoline with fire combination,
Oh
that
no.
is kind of what I'm thinking what tar is gonna do. Tell me. I'm pretty darn sure scientifically, as a woman of science.
It's more.
Damn.
Okay. Tar fires more smoke than flame. Tar fires
No.
more smoke. As a crude oil, a small
Technically,
fire
since-
makes a great deal of smoke. Usual methods of procedure. The average tar fire does not represent a big problem for the fire
But
department.
technically, since Sam is the DM, whatever she says goes.
But she said
Theoretically.
science. She said, "I am a man of science.
I like to.
I have a
I like
+5
to.
intelligence."
I like to base a lot of it off of regular science and then add some flair, like Ekman. But so with the tar pits, those aren't really the issue. But you also, those are starting to spread to the trees. So you look over to one of, we're gonna say the right side of the wall of fire with the trees that is starting to spread, and you whip out your hand, you give your verbal and somatic component, whatever that may be, and you just see, and a large ray of frost, surprisingly, of white light streaks to this tree, and you just see it is definitely fighting against this fire, and you are able to, at this point in the fire's progression, stop that tree from spreading. But you look over and you now see that other tree has started, to the left side I mean, so from the right you stopped it. The tar pit is more smoke than fire, and then you see the wall of fire in the middle of the walkway, and you see the fire on the left side start to just take off. And then behind you, you hear Valentine yelping out in pain still, as you hear her trying to, she finally gets Koros put out, but she's still in flame.
Oh boy, I did not realize that she was still on fire, or else I would have put her
Yep,
out.
that's what I was trying to explain before things
Are we
happened.
still going in like initiative order?
I will say, yeah, we can kind of keep it like that. So for your initiative,
So I really want to do something.
so that was just Trevor. So yeah, actually you're correct. So you realize all of that, Trevor, and you're like, oh shoot, Prego lady's still on fire.
Okay.
And Tim, it is your turn.
Ooh,
Okay.
wait. Can I have? I can have Phil do something. Is Phil on fire?
Phil is singed.
Okay, he's singed. He's going to try to put out
Tiny
the
pond.
lady.
Pat, 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 pat.
Explain to me how he's going to try to do that and how you want to roll for that. Because
He's essentially just gonna like pounce on her and just like pat with his paws.
it's just those tiny little fox paws.
Yes.
We're gonna do roll a d20 and add a add Phil's dexterity modifier to see if he can get the fire fast enough.
Okay. Dexterity modifier. Okay.
This podcast is going too real with the forest fire and everything.
22.
Wow, you guys are freaking dope tonight.
So with Iron Defenders, all of my are increased by 1. Each level I take in Artificer.
Your modifiers are increased by 1, you said?
My
For the steel defense.
Never mind. It's just proficient. So that would be 18. Sorry.
Okay, that was a large number.
No.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
basic.
It's all good. I reread. It's all good. But you still succeed.
Woo.
You see, you whip around and your face kind of like your eyes widen and you kind of like snap at Phil, and Phil runs to the rescue as this tiny little wooden and metal fox runs up to Valentine, and just she's already like patting out the fires, but you can kind of see that she's getting really red and all of like the burn victim sort of like look, and he just helps get her the rest of the way out. But you see, as the fire is put out, she just falls to the floor and passes out.
Okay. Awesome.
So both of them are smoking, but they don't seem to be on death's door.
Okay.
What about the other guy?
What other guy?
You said there was another human figure.
Oh yeah, so he's still burning,
Ah, nice.
but he's
Nice and crispy.
he's unconscious,
Oh,
so he's not screaming.
good.
Cool. I mean, I can't do anything else, so...
How far away?
Oh, actually, Nyx is gonna run over to them. Because I can do that with my...
Yep, we'll say that you get there and you see that what I just described.
I can't do anything.
You see the familiar Koros and Valentine, and they're passed out right next to each other, and they both look pretty burned up, and like they need some TLC. Cool. So moving on from that, you, Emma, my dear, what would you like to do? You are on a carpet that has stalled movement.
How far away am
about
I?
60 feet away from a wall of fire, 40 foot up from the ground.
And how far away am I from Val and her husband?
I would say they're about 20 feet past the wall of fire now. So, 60 foot to the wall of fire, and then 20 foot past that. So 80.
Okay. 20 foot past the wall of fire. Well, my first plan won't work then. Unless I jump, which I could do that.
You do like to jump
Emma,
off this
no.
carpet.
Emma, no.
I think that's like an
Okay.
aesthetic for two now.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Hey, Zach. I have a question.
Yay!
If I cast Ice Storm, would that break your firewall, or do you need a dispel magic spell to break the wall?
You're talking
I
about
love-
sheep tube.
It's
I love the
technically
non-metagaming Zach.
It is technically fire, so like if Sam is going off real like physics kind of stuff, or like laws of nature, that would be like ish. I say like Ice Storm would be able to, but I think like people would have to take damage or like do a save for damage, maybe.
Right.
I think it would still be worth the risk though.
Yeah. Okay. Plan B.
They're both on. All three of them are unconscious, mind you. So we don't want to put them on a death save.
Could somebody get down there, then shield them, then have Tomb cast Ice Storm?
Well, that was my first plan. Is that if I could get down there,
could I use a reaction to shield them? So if Tomb casts Ice Storm, would I be able to use my reaction to shield the downed people with my body?
I would say no.
Rip.
it's okay because my spell has a radius and I can keep them outside of it. Because they're 20 feet from the wall, and then you said we're on the carpet. We're 40 feet from the wall.
You guys are 60 feet from the wall.
We're 60 feet. Okay, actually that's perfect then. So then.
Yeah.
And actually, I forgot to come back to Peter before we actually started initiative order, since I already said.
Yay.
He rolled like big boy numbers for this magic carpet.
I rolled a 9 and then added 9.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big boy numbers because
big
he's
boy
smart.
Numbers. Yeah.
So I would say that the magic carpet is able to go forward another 30 feet. Before that all happened. If you want to move it.
I'm gonna move it forward, but can I also like drop it a little bit?
You can.
Because I'm like, I know I'm not good at driving this, so I'm just gonna start lowering it a little bit so it's a little safer to get off.
So if you want, that would just be a part of its movement. So you guys can be 10 feet above the ground. That would be its movement speed, but it's all relative. So you can move
I can't do like a
20 feet
diagonal
in any
thing.
direction.
Oh, can I move diagonal? So that'd be 10. So 30 feet forward and we're 10 feet off the ground.
9, 10, 15. So if you want to move, so you would move 15 feet forward, but then 15 feet diagonal towards the ground.
Oh,
so you would
I'm just gonna move forward. I'm just gonna move forward then.
So you're just gonna move forward and stay 40 feet above the ground?
Yes.
Okay, so you are now.
It seems more important to get closer.
Okay, so 2.
Yes.
Retcon, you are 30 feet away from the wall of fire.
Okay, and then 20 feet. And then they're 20 feet from the wall of fire.
Yes.
So 60 feet altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay. There's my big boy numbers coming into play.
So if I
I count. Can't read, but I can count.
And this might be hard for me to
Where?
calculate without having a map. Hold on.
Mental map time. Woo!
Yeah, so Ice Storm takes up a 20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
And the damage goes 40 feet from that 20-foot radius. So now that we're moved closer, if I cast it, I'd put everyone on the magic carpet in danger. But I could make it to where Nyx and the other 3 are not in danger. But then all of us would take damage. But it might dispel the wall. Unless...
Do you have like a dispel magic type thing?
No.
Oh.
How long is the wall? Or wide, I should say.
To describe the rate of affairs. So you saw what I described earlier with the fire. So you saw that Trevor has, or Bright has taken the forest that it is your left, but his right. Oh my gosh, one second, there's turn off notifications. People keep making noises. But you see to your left, because you guys are on opposite sides of this firewall, your left of the firewall has not been spreading. It's still there. So the firewall is 20 feet long, And now it is spreading to your right side, to the trees, and that has made it about 10 feet.
So it's 20 feet long.
So 30 feet of fire.
30 feet. Okay.
Long ways.
Okay. So. Okay,
So
so
instead of like going.
So theoretically, since it's 30 feet long, I could drop it so that it's 40 feet from us. No, that wouldn't work. 'Cause that'd be too far. So if we're 30 feet from the wall and it's 30 feet long, oh gosh, this is math.
D&D disguised math since 1980 something.
Is there a way I can place it towards one of the edges of the wall where it would be 40 feet away from all of us?
So if you want, I would say, because you want to do the... Because here, I'm going to draw it out on my little thing.
I tried drawing it too, but I'm like, ah.
So you got 20 there, so that's 30, and you guys are another 30. So if you wanted, and what is the, if you, like you probably could do like a diagonal, you said it is 20 foot and then 40 foot of damage?
Yeah. Like, there's a large chunk of ice that's 20 feet in diameter that lands wherever I tell it to land within 300 feet of me, and then it produces a 40-foot radius of just cold damage.
Cone in front of it?
Yes. Well, yeah, technically, cone. Yeah, from where it is. No, sorry, not cone, cylinder. So, like, a cylinder from that point of where the ice is. So 20 foot. My assumption is that 20 feet of the cylinder is the actual piece of ice.
Mm-hmm.
And then 40 foot of the rest of it is the damage.
Mm-hmm. So, I would say that you don't have to think of it in like linear aspects. Yeah, you could like put it wherever and however you wanted it to land.
Okay. Yeah, as long as I just want it to land somewhere where it doesn't affect us and it only affects the wall.
That is the best outcome.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible?
What is the name of the spell that you're doing again?
Ice storm.
Oh, okay.
We're crunching numbers. This is what it
The
feels like.
real D&D podcast.
There we go. You thought you were listening to audio adventures. Nope, you're listening to crunching numbers.
The sheep up in the corner. Oh, okay. So, a hail of rock-hard ice pounds to the ground in a 20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
So, sort of like a ice literal storm coming down from clouds. 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. So it looks like... Okay, so no, what this is saying, Emma, is that it's like coming down from a cloud, right?
Okay.
So the 40-foot, it's 40 foot high, so it's going up and down.
Okay.
So you would be able to get 20 foot of that wall within it, and the damage would go up and down 40 feet.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Yeah, think of it like a cloud sort of thing. It's coming up and down from a cloud.
You're creating an ice storm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's only a 20-foot radius.
And radius in math terms.
I believe that's from the point of origin
That
to
I choose?
the edge.
Yeah.
So from the center to the edge, it's 20 feet. So
Yep.
the
so,
diameter would be 40 feet.
Yes.
Math.
Correct.
I barely passed math. That was the most math I've done in a long time.
So I could place it. I could place it 20 feet away from all of us, or would it have to be 40 feet away from all of us?
So it could be the center point would just have to be 20 feet away from you
Okay.
for you guys not to get hit.
Okay.
Or whoever you don't want to get hit.
Mhm.
Those are AOE, fellas. Area of effect.
Whoa, math.
Yeah, I could. Okay, so I could do that. So I'd place it. I'd place it far enough away to where we would all just be on the edge, just barely missing the damage.
Yeah,
And
so
I-
you guys are 30 feet away. They're
Yep.
20 feet away. And
Right.
then the magic fire line is about, what did I say, 30 feet long? Yes, 30
Yes.
feet long. The wall of fire with the spreading of the fire of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, and this is hard to do without a map.
Yeah.
But you could position it, if you wanted to hit all of the fire, like not directly in the middle of the fire wall, but near the end of the fire wall,
Yeah.
and then get 20 foot in that direction to stop the fire from continuing, and the
Yeah.
other 20 foot in the other direction to stop the firewall potentially, and then the 20 feet up near the other people would stop right before Koros's and Nyx's head, and then it would stop about 10 foot before the carpet.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Ooh, D&D. So you're doing that?
Yes. So,
Okay.
how do you, since the firewall's not like a creature, do you want me just to, like, do you want me to
I'm
roll
going
a D20 for for AC and just...
So I'm gonna say you just hit it,
Okay.
because it's not gonna try to go anywhere. But the amount of damage that you do to said fire will determine if you put it out or not.
Okay. So I will...
So it gets
do
the
that.
full force of the 2d8 bludgeoning and the 4d6 cold.
Mhm.
I don't know if you did it at higher than 4th level, but I think that you just got 4th level or something. I forget.
I have 5th level, but I don't want to cast it at 5th level.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay. So, write 12 down. That was the bludgeoning.
Okay.
And then 12 again.
Nice.
12 points of cold damage.
Alright.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice. So what I'll do for like the HP of this firewall, I'm thinking I'll just roll the amount of damage die for the firewall.
Okay.
And if you do more damage than what it can do back, you'll put it out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So let me get that 5d8, yo. So, what had happened was, as the carpet shakily got closer, as Tibril was able to successfully connect with it, and even though it was kind of resisting you, it begrudgingly went forward, seemingly knowing who its master is.
Knowing it's a sheep.
Knowing that you're not who usually flies it.
Oh, that's
and Tomb, seeing this amount of damage and knowing that this amount of fire would cause a lot of death, as you are very familiar with the concept of death.
Yes.
You reach out your hand, and all of you in the area of effect just hear as a large thundercloud just starts to form around the top of this large firewall that is starting to spread and spread, seemingly a little too quickly because of this tar sort of fire that is coming up and off of the tar pits. But you see large amounts of hail just spread out, just barely missing each and every one of you, as all of those calculations that we just did quickly flashes through Tomb's head. And you see as this firewall is just beaten down, as the ice melts upon impact and becomes water, and the hail just does enough damage to beat it down. And you see smoke start to emanate up from the trees, and you guys see that the fire was seemingly stopped.
Yes! Yay, Tomb! Good job. Head pats
So
for Tomb.
as the smoke continues, you guys still see blazing from a corner the Wolverine and the Goliath. The Goliath is just not moving. The Wolverine is not moving either. But you guys do remember that there was a small humanoid thing in that fire that seemingly hasn't moved yet.
Do we get over there?
I will say that you are able to make it over there, yes.
Yay! Okay, Timberl's gonna go full on doctor mode. And he's going to
Fireboy.
I'm going to toss a health potion to Nyx. Tell him to give it to Korit. I'm going to tell Ekman to put out the fire on the other humanoid figure. And I'm going to run over to Valentine.
Okay. So, going into complete doctor mode and just first responder mode, you thrust all of these sort of commands on your fellow party members, leaving your sheep on your carpet.
Like, stay.
I don't know what the sheep Tavis would like to do, but Ekman just but Ekman just says, like, Roger Dodger, and goes over and attempts to set out the fire. Seemingly able to do so. Nyx, you are throwing that health, that common healing potion, and Tibril, you run over to Valentine, who looks as if she has suffered quite a bit of damage.
Okay, I'm going to do like the doctor thing, check for pulses, make sure she's okay, still breathing, and then I'm going to put my hand on her stomach, and I'm going to heal her for 25 hit points.
When you go to check for pulse, you feel a very faint pulse there.
Okay.
And you see that she is all marked up and her face is red, and there's just all these marks that
all sorts of burns.
all sorts of burns, and you can see like
Okay.
when you burn yourself and the welts are starting up and
Ugh.
all of these other things, just really nasty and gnarly stuff that you wouldn't wish on anyone, especially a pregnant lady.
Oh, yeah.
And you reach over and you feel a very faint heartbeat in her stomach as well.
Okay.
And you just and you just like there's like a light sort of yellow gold pulse around the two of you as you see emanating from out of you, her skin just starts to sort of suture up and go up, and she looks burned now, but not like she is not on the edge of death.
Okay. And you said I felt a pulse from, or at least something that the baby was still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Once she's okay, I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and pull out a blanket and cover her up. And I'm going to run over to the other guy who Ekman was putting out.
I was wanting to pour that potion in that guy's throat.
All right, so go
Which guy?
ahead and chorus.
The guy who was on fire.
Yes.
Oh no, pour it into choruses. We need to make sure he's alive.
Oh yes, actually. Sorry. That was
You-
Trevor thinking. Nyx would be focused on Cor.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the healing for that health potion that I believe is 2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you get that, just let me know.
That is 6 points of healing.
All right, so Koros, his wife looks much better than him. He seems to be already. He was pretty rough. To begin with, it looks like his head has several lacerations around it. Looks like he was hit. It looks like he was dragged. His arms were tied up. He just did not have a great time with these two Goliaths, and it looks like the two Goliaths didn't care how he was handled.
Also, really fast question: is the sheep near us?
Yeah, you turn around and you see a sheep.
I would
On
like
the
to
magic
kick the
carpet.
sheep and use Arcane Jolt to heal Chorus.
You don't hurt Tavis.
Sheep's been
All right.
slapped, now it's gonna get kicked.
Ah,
All right. Explain. Oh my gosh. Explain to me what Archangel does again.
Arcane Jolt, what it does is I can choose one of two things. I can choose to deal an extra 2d6 force damage to a target, or I can choose one creature or object I can see within 30 feet, and healing energy flows into the chosen recipient, restoring 2d6 hit points to it.
All right. So you just kind of kick the sheep, and I'm just gonna look up hit points of a sheep real quick.
Do you want me to unarmed strike? Because it's a d4, right?
Yeah. Do that.
I dealt 1 damage.
Oh. Okay. And it takes 2d6 and heals other people with it?
Yes, I heal 2d6 to somebody.
That's interesting. That's an interesting mechanic.
I like
So
it.
I rolled a 6 and a 2 to heal Chorus, 8 points of damage.
All right. Very nice. So after the healing potion, you see how his like sort of vitality comes back a little bit. He still looks very badly burned. But after you kick that sheep, all of you kind of like look around and you see that Chorus kind of giggles in his sleep. And that his sort of really red face becomes a little bit more of his natural tint. And he looks better. And as you kick the sheep, And I actually forgot to do this earlier. Red Guest, you said you slapped.
I did slap him, yes.
Could you roll an unarmed strike?
Yeah, you got it. Do I have to roll the hit or just the damage?
No, he's not gonna try. He's a big sheep. Just roll my damage.
Isn't an unarmed strike just 1 plus your strength modifier?
Mine is...
Usually.
Okay.
I'm slapping. It's open palm. Okay. I have to roll.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do it on D&D Beyond, which we're also not
D&D.
sponsored by.
Dang it.
That is 7 damage.
Ow.
Okay.
Don't be dead. You already lost an arm. We don't need a player death.
Oh.
Okay, so I would say, so that happens, and he kind of gives off like a bah sort of like thing, and it hurts a lot. He doesn't turn back into Tavis, but after this kick, you see there's like a poof, and then you see Tavis just land on his butt.
Wait a
I
minute.
say, huh? That happened.
Oh wait. Oh, was it like the temporary hit, like the druid thing?
Yeah, he had hit points of a sheep.
And then when he lost them all, he changed back?
Yeah.
Good. Good. I was like, I don't know how we're going to change it back. This is going to make things interesting. Oh, now we don't have to.
All right. So that happens, and Peter, you said you were running over to
The other guy.
So was
the other
Red
guy,
Guest.
along
Third
with
guy.
Red Guest.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I said
so
he was running with Ekman, but I didn't know if you heard that earlier.
Oh, I did not hear you. So you that actually helps. You help Ekman put out the fire, and you roll this smaller humanoid over, and Red Guest. You see a boy that you have never seen before, as Red Guest, and
Wait. Are you sure?
no. Now that you say that, no.
What? No? Oh.
No, yeah, I am incorrect.
Would I know him
Ekman
by
has
another name? I'll send it out. Never mind.
Yeah, you would. I completely forgot about this until you said that. Yeah, pretty much, Raoul. So you turn over the small humanoid, and it is a boy with black hair, a round face that looks to have a kind of elongated to make it look a little more like he's grown up a little bit, and a pendant of a star around his neck. Several lacerations.
Shithead?
And that was this episode of Audio Adventures. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and most of all, please share to get out the word so we can share our story with you and keep doing what we're doing. If you have an idea for an NPC, a shop, or even an encounter, please comment down below. You might be seeing any of those in the next session or maybe even the upcoming sessions. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Please stay safe, everyone, and wear those seatbelts.